to give us advice. And we can listen to their advice in massaging the direction of our R&D program, or we can set it aside. It's up to us how we use the input. We're paying for the input, so we're taking seriously the advice we're being given. We're also using this contract vehicle to get industry teams to give us specific products that we feel we need in order to move some specific aspect of the R&D program forward. So it's been a very good relationship so far.
What has been maybe the most rewarding part of the Advanced Fuel Cycle program that you've been associated with all these years?
I've been associated with it since 2002. I've seen it morph several times in its title and its emphasis. And what's been amazing, and Pete Miller noticed that as he left the department recently, is the resiliency of the teams that we have working for us. Many of the national laboratory and university folks that have worked in this program for 8 to 10 years have stayed with it, even though it has changed direction several times. And they retain their enthusiasm for the mission, even though the mission changes with different administrations. It's very frustrating when you have to change missions, but the continuity remains, and that's the best thing I can say about the people in the program, is that they're very resilient and they adapt. And those who are in charge and manage and lead the program are the ones I have to thank for that. They've been very, very good at it. And I think that's probably what I'm most proud of. But right there behind it is the university programs and the young people that we have helped get their education and then come into our field. And it's not just nuclear engineering. We've supported physics students, health physics and radiochemistry, and other technical fields besides nuclear engineering, because you need more than just one discipline in developing nuclear technologies. There's a wide variety of scientists and engineers that are needed for that. And we've got them. And I think our university program has helped restock the supply.
Also, in your own organization, you have hired a number of young people, haven't you?
That's true. And I won't take all the credit for that. Some of my directors, like Rob Price, have gone out and found these young people and convinced me to hire them. And I've been very glad to do so. A couple of youngsters, I call them youngsters, they're probably close to 30 years old now, but I'm getting older, so they seem like youngsters to me. Brad Williams and Dan Vega came to us just within the last 3 years, and they are both working on their PhDs in their spare time, and we're giving them all the support we can. But I think that is one good indicator that the department is going to have some good quality people leading these programs in the future. Another one that I can think of is Sue Lessica. Sue was in my program for several years as our materials lead. And last year we decided to move her into the reactor team because more of the materials issues were focused on reactors. And I had been in charge of managing the fast reactor program during the GNEP time. But after the domestic component of GNEP was canceled, we moved the reactor development work for the fast reactors back over into the reactor team. That was part of an organizational change that we did last year. So we moved Sue over there. She's doing very well, and we still have good interface and integration with her as well. So she's another one that's going to be one of the leaders when those at my age and older retire out of the department. And there are a couple older than me that are still with us, like Frank Goldner and Jim Brzee, and even John Herzig. And I don't know how long they're going to stay, but we all appreciate their willingness to keep working beyond retirement age and train and get ready those new managers and leaders, because we're going to need them. When Pete Miller came in as Assistant Secretary, the summer of '09. He knew he was going to do a reorganization, so we created the org charts for him. And then he allowed all of the Office of Nuclear Energy employees to let him know where they wanted to work. And he would entertain transfers within the Office of Nuclear Energy to different groups. And I was particularly pleased when none of my employees wanted to go work for a different group. But several others from outside of our group wanted to come in. So that was very satisfying.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And the leadership, it doesn't matter if they're homegrown or not. In new production reactors, Don Mineta brought in most of his leadership from outside the department. They were from industry, they were from the Navy, the utilities. And these guys had learned how to become managers and leaders in their own respective field. But you put that team like that together with all that broad experience throughout the country, it was a crackerjack team. They worked very well together. And those are the same principles that will keep the department going. We cannot just hire from within. We need to go out and reach out to outside the department for future leaders.